Welcome to KVCC Action Basketball tonight from Schoolcraft College as the KVCC Cougars 27-5 take on the Raiders of Oakland College in the finals of the state tournament. The Cougars now are tournament tested as they have notched wins over both Grand Rapids and Muskegon to earn the right to this position. Oakland has had to defeat Eastern Conference champ Highland Park, which also is quite an accomplishment. The stage is set for a classic shootout to earn state bragging rights for this season. Hi, I'm Dave Hauser, and along with Gordon Miller, we'll be describing tonight's game. Our cameraman, Tim Guyton, is ready to follow the action, so let's switch now to our interview with the coach. Coach, contrary to the title on our tape tonight, this is not the semifinals. This is it.
This is it, Dave. The tape was made in our studio, and there was a mistake, and the piece of paper was put on the wrong tape. So the last night's game was billed as the championship, and tonight's is the semifinal. But this is the championship game.
Okay, you saw Oakland Community College in a victory over Highland Park last night. What are your thoughts about Oakland College?
Well, Oakland is maybe the best team we've played, Dave. It's certainly one of them, but they're not head and shoulders better than other people. Their schedule has been no tougher than ours. They've lost 7 games this year, but they play a tremendously aggressive, full-court, trapping, pressure-type defense, very much like we've seen with Grand Rapids and Lansing and some of the other schools. Key to the game, again, we've said it so many times on these broadcasts this year before games, going to be our ball handling. We played a half last night with 2 turnovers against Muskegon in the first half. And if we can handle the basketball, we're going to get a lot of good shots. We just have to be able to knock them down. We've been doing that all year. So
there's more than a state title on the line here. There's also top seed in the regional.
Yes, it is. The team that wins tonight, Dave, will have a bye until next Thursday and automatically be in the quarterfinals of the regional. They will, however, have to play a good team because they'll be playing the winner of Lakeland, who is 25-6, and Grand Rapids, who has only lost 6 games that we've seen already 3 times this year. The loser of tonight's game will be playing, they'll have the number 2 seed, and they'll play Glen Oaks on Wednesday night.
Okay.
Or Wednesday afternoon, excuse me. It might be one or the other. If it's us, it'll be at night. If it's the other team, if it's Oakland, it'll probably be in the afternoon.
Okay, now to the Cougars. Matt Lehman was hurt last night. What's his status tonight?
Well, we've been around the motel all day. Liz Chufo, our trainer, has done a beautiful job of trying to get his ankle back in shape. She's gotten the swelling to go down a little bit. We've iced it and given the best medical treatment that we could possibly give him. He is still very limping on it. He's very sore. It does not look like he's going to be at full strength at best. I'm not even sure I can start him. I just told the team that his health obviously comes first, and the fact that we need him next week in the regional has to be a big consideration. So it's just going to be a question of where he can move well enough in a game of this type to be able to keep up. And if he can, and he can endure the pain, then she's got it taped tightly, and there doesn't seem to be any much reasonable chance of risking it, injuring it any further, then we'll go ahead and play.
Last night you said no problem pumping the guys up for this one tonight. One thing that might be a problem is getting too pumped up and playing a little tight.
Well, Oakland has had more tournament experience than we've had. Of course, they were in the state finals last year, and they were in the regional final game, and then went to the national tournament, played 3 games up there. And we're kind of, this is the second time in the history of our school. None of these guys have been in a state championship game. I'm hoping that won't be a factor. We've been pretty relaxed today. We watched Michigan and Iowa on television, then we watched the Bucks play on television against the Bulls a little bit, and talked about the game. And as I said last night before that game, I think of all the teams I've had at KVCC, this one has to be as ready as any of them to play in a game of this type.
Well, the stage is set. Let's let the players decide it. Good luck, Coach.
Thanks, Dave. Good to have you here again.
Well, we're just about ready to start the action in the state tournament final. We'll turn the sound over to their public address for the introduction of our starting lineups. Number 40, Gary Holt, 6'2". Number 22 is Sam Smith. Number 11 is Carson Butler. Derek Williams, number 25, and 51, Greg Davis. They're coached by Lynn Reed. 12 points per game. Number 32, Andre Bolden, 11 points per game. Scott Furman, number 33, 7.6 points per game. 34 is Matt Lehman. 42 is Ed Finch at 21 points per game. The Cougars are coached by Dick Schultz. The officials tonight are Rico Zucco and Rich Ames from the Western Conference. And now we'll have our national anthem. Well, Gordon, the stage is set. You had a chance to learn a few things about Oakland Community College. What did you find out?
Well, Dave, you don't get to the finals of the state tournament without being on something of a winning streak. Oakland has won 8 in a row. They're 23-7. So they're obviously hot right at this point in the season. They finished second in the Eastern Conference. A couple of the players to watch tonight will be Butler. He's averaging 20 points a game. Smith has 16. Butler also has 97 steals on the season. And Bowie, number 31, who's on the bench right now, is their top assist man, which I don't exactly understand, but he apparently comes off the bench.
Okay, well, both teams scored 116 points last night. This should be a shootout. The ball is controlled by Gary Holt. Number 11's Carson Butler. Drives that lane and scores 2 for the Raiders.
Dave, Oakland did not look as lively to me in their warm-ups as they did last night. They went through a bunch of quasi-jams before that game with Highland Park, and they didn't look quite as sprightly to me tonight.
Well, that first one doesn't find it. Tipped out by Scott Furman. Andre Bolden picks it up, scores the bucket.
Again tonight, Dave, a lot of Cougar fans came over for this game.
Yep.
I would, despite the fact that Oakland's quite a bit closer, Valley has a much better representation here tonight.
Well, Holt leaned in on Andre and got the shot to fall and puts up count of 4-2 in favor of Oakland. Andre's on a drive. Wants to feed it to Scott Furman, and now we have it under control. Chuck Lewis with the ball. Oakland plays man-to-man, or at least they're set up in a man-to-man.
Some people may remember Gary Holt from last year's game. He gets pretty vocal in these games, and so you'll be able to pick him out if it gets to be a close game.
Well, they take it inside. Don't get it. But number 25, Derek Williams, is charged with the fouls. He goes over Matt Lehman for the rebound. And that will be Cougar ball. Looks like Oakland's going to go do full court pressure.
Both teams, Oakland did get the bye, having finished second in the conference. They got a bye just like Kalamazoo Valley did the first game. So this is their third game in 3 nights.
Chuck Lewis, a long one. Not quite long enough to get 3, but ties the game at 4 apiece. And we got a travel called on Oakland, and we're knotted up at Wait a minute, they gave him 3.
Yeah, the referee on this side did give him 3. They hesitated at the scorer's bench, but he got 3.
Oh, I'm sorry.
The referee on this side signaled 3.
I looked down at my scorecard right when he let fly, and I thought sure his 1 foot was on the line. But I'm sure I was wrong, Gordon.
This one time.
Gary Holt has some problems. Oh, what a pass by Chuck Lewis. Andre working hard. Doesn't get it. Tip, no good. Rebound, Greg Davis.
Nice pass.
Good situation set up by Chuck Lewis. We didn't cash in, but I think things that's happened so far are very encouraging. We've got some offensive rebounds, some steals, Gordon. Scott Furman goes it in. Okay, Cougars up 7-4. 17:39 remain.
Nice defensive play by Scott Lewis. It was a little physical with him, and they could have called one on that, but it did not happen.
Whoa. Sam Smith with that shot from about 18 feet under pretty heavy pressure. Brings the Raiders within 1, 7-6 at 17:20 mark. Well, it's nice to see the Cougars come out strong, Gordon.
Yeah, they did that last night also, Dave. Against Grand Rapids, they didn't 2 games ago, but here they've got off to a reasonably good start.
I had to be a travel, I think.
Yep.
Anyway, we got a good situation. Chuck Lewis puts it off to Andre. Got it!
Yep, he still got a good shot off. The break wasn't as smooth as we'd like.
Andre with 4 points already. Cougars up by 3, 9-6. Sam Smith whips the ball, puts it into Davis. Now out to Butler, 3-point range. No good, long rebound. Derek Williams, 18-footer, he's got it. Gordon, they've had 3 people score from pretty long distance so far, so.
Yep, Butler took that 3-pointer. He's their big man on those. He's hit 23 of those this year.
Okay, Chuck tries to put one inside. It's battered out of bounds by Williams.
Nobody else on Oakland really has tried much in the way of three-point attempts. Nobody's got over 5 of them except for Butler.
For the season?
That's right.
Huh.
Butler's got 23, which is not a tremendous number.
It seems surprising because about 3 of their shots have been right on about 18, 19 foot mark. Andre! Lighting it up tonight. Puts the Cougars up by 3, 11-8. Williams again. No good. Rebound, Andre Bolden. Long pass is intercepted by Butler.
Chuck Lewis could have got a call there.
Butler scores it. 11-10. 15:54 remains in the first half, and the term shootout is living up to its bill, Gordon.
Yeah.
Ed Finch, 3-point range, a little short. You got their stats. What's their shooting percentage from the field?
Well, Dave, it's in the 40s overall, I believe.
Butler from way out. No good. Rebound contested. Smith gets a loose ball, puts the Raiders up by 1, 12-11. Coach
Dave,
wanted
I got
to travel.
individual stats, but I did not get team stats
All right.
for Oakland.
Cougars, of course, shoot in the upper 40, about 48, 49% from the field for the season. That pass didn't find its mark, and that will go over to the Raiders. There aren't a whole lot of people here, Gordon, but this is one noisy place.
Yeah. When you sit at the top here against the wall, you get quite a bit more noise. You got a good echo here.
Well, I had a little problem understanding the public address during the introduction of the starting lineups. And now they have cheerleaders down there, and their noise really makes it difficult. Butler from 3-point range, no good. Rebound, hit Finch. Now Matt Lehman. Long pass, picked off by Smith. Another long pass, finds its mark. And 25, Derek Williams cashes in on that bucket.
Nice passing by Oakland there.
Well, say it's a game of inches. A game of inches. It turned around 4 points there. Pass in Ed Finch. John Pug gets good. Ed scores his first bucket. Well, the intensity level's rather high out there. Everything is being contested. And A lot of contact there on that drive by Holt as Ed Finch gets his first foul. Oakland up by 1, 14-13, with 14-17 remaining in the first half. Gary Holt at the line.
He's a 65% free throw shooter.
Yeah, you were remarking, Gordon, before we started that their free throw percentage is nothing to write home about.
Yeah, all of their players are in the 60s except Davis, number 51, who's at 88%, and Mulek, who's just shot 8 free throws, has only missed 1. So their free throw shooting is not that good.
Well, Chuck Lewis does a good job breaking press. Ed Finch on the spin, no good, in and out. Scott Furman picks up the loose ball. Needs somebody to give it to. Now Andre has it. Chuck Lewis on the drive, scores it.
Dave, Matt Lehman's ankle did not look too bad for the time that he was in there. I imagine you had a little discussion with Coach Schultz about that in the pregame, but it did not look...
Well, we're going to have some reserves check in early as Tim Dunkel and Fred Cunningham and Bob Smith comes in.
Coach Reed is having a little discussion with the referee. I don't know what.
Oh, there's a 2-second discrepancy on the clock. One reads 13:56, the other 13:54. At this point of the game, it won't have much bearing, but we would like to get that corrected.
Straightened out.
Now, there's only 1 second difference. Now we're all set. 13:53 remains in the first half. Score knotted up at 15 apiece. Little full court pressure by the Cougars. Okay, we got a good trap. Tim Dunkel with the steal. And then the quick hands of Gary Holt takes the ball away from the Cougars. Butler has the ball now. Holt goes behind the back in the lane. He's got a drive shot for 2 points. 17-15, Bob Smith. Tim Dunkel, 3-point range.
Boy, that's been money in the bank lately.
Well, it was right on target. It was just a little long, Gordon. Oakland up by 2, 17-15, and a high lob pass goes into Williams. He travels
up and down.
Good defense by Bob Smith. He took away the avenue to the basket after Williams got the ball. Fred Cunningham lets loose. It's good. 3 points. Cougars up by 1, 18-17. The 13-minute mark of the first half. Holt turns, spins, shoots, no good. Rebound. Well, that went off a Cougar hand, and Ed Finch slaps it away. Holt tries to get it back and hammers Ed Smith across the arm, and that will be Cougar basketball.
That's Holt's second right now, isn't it? Or is that his first?
That's just his first, I believe, Gordon.
Last night the clock was a little slow on picking up those player fouls, so it's kind of difficult to tell.
Well, again, this contest not only decides who the state champion is, it also decides who gets the top seed in the regional at KVCC next week.
Yeah, and the important thing about being the top seed is you get a bye in that game.
Yep. Well, another oddity, Gordon, is that Division II, which is supposedly not as strong as Division I, has both of the
finalists.
Both of the finalists, yeah. I got sidetracked with the game there.
It's an interesting one.
Oh, Bob Smith makes a good move, gets his man in the air, and scores a bucket. That's Bob's first bucket of the night. Cougars up by 3, 20-17, with 12-16 remaining in the first half. Number 31 is John Bowie. He's checked into the game, and he commits a traveling violation. Gary Andre back into the game now, also for the Cougars. Fred Cunningham out on top, gets the screen for Scott Furman. Gary Andre gets the baseline. Went up too strong. Tip. Cougars doing a great job on the boards. Gary Andre gets the bucket.
Dave, we've seen the Cougars do a lot of things this year, but one of them is not pound the offensive boards like they did on that sequence there.
I tell you, that is certainly a pleasing sight.
Yeah.
And Mr. Bowie commits another error. He had an open lane and just got a little over anxious. Cougars up by 5 now, 22-17 with 11:44 remaining in the first half. I think we're going to have a timeout. I guess not.
No.
I thought Oakland was going to have timeout.
Bowie goes out.
We're going to try to get a KVCC banner up here. Sign that was made up by some fans on our first timeout. Right now they got a lot to cheer about. Cougars on top by 5. Fred Cunningham in close. He traveled, I think. Yeah, he shuffled his feet just as he went up for the shot. But he did a fine job of getting his man up in the air. Oh, I know Coach doesn't like it. I was reading his lips there. He thought he didn't, but it looked like from this angle Fred did shuffle his feet, Gordon. Get it in tight. Oh, one block by Scott Furman. Jimmy Sherrill with that shot. They're going to call a foul on Scott Furman, his first.
Please call traveling consistent. Please be consistent, Rich. Good block, Scott.
Jimmy Sherrill at the line. Misses that first one. Number 22 is Sam Smith. Number 40 is Gary Holt. 25 is Derek Williams. 11 Carson Butler. He misses them both. Scott Furman with a rebound. Tim Dunkel up quick. Fred Cunningham with the ball. Bob Smith, Gary Andre, and Scott Furman make up that lineup right now. Tim Dunkel tries to feed off to Bob Smith. Catches the ball out of bounds, and that will go to the Raiders. And with a 3-minute rest, here come the starters back into the game.
Well, that was a good job by the substitutes. They came in and gave them a lift. They picked up a turnover right away, a couple buckets, and the lead's up to 5.
I know. We were either tied or just up 1 when they left, and now we're up 5. And again, we got some sort of controversy going on there.
I think they called just for a center
alignment?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. They're just matching up players.
Yeah, that's the first time I think I've seen that this year.
Yeah,
Cougar game.
That's right.
Of course, there's a lot riding on this one. State bragging rights.
Just a little loose pressure on bringing that ball up.
The other thing I was real glad to see, Gordon, is the Cougars aren't too pumped up. They're loose and seem to be taking their shots, and everything seems to be. Well, we're going to have a second foul on Ed Finch.
And you could see Ed Finch saying, what?
Yeah.
He didn't.
Well, the Cougars do a lot of hand checking and slapping the ball out of the opponent's hand, and sometimes you get your hand in the cookie jar, and it's a very difficult play to call.
Well, Dave, I mentioned that Holt gets pretty vocal, number 40. I think if you watch him with the ball, too, I think he gets a lot of arm action there and commits quite a few offensive fouls that he gets away with.
His first or second basket, I remember he used his arm to brush Andre Bolden away.
Yep.
Sherrill gets that first one, and then too strong on the second one. Scott Furman picks it up.
Yeah.
Well, the Cougars doing a fine job of picking up those loose balls right now. Chuck Lewis needs some help. Now, as he's dribbled back, Cougars up by 4, 22-18 with 10:26 remaining in the first half. Matt Lehman has it slapped away, picks up the loose ball, scores a bucket.
Well, Sherrill, I think, might have gotten away with one there, but it didn't matter. Cougars got the basket.
Well, it looks like traveling when the ball's loose like that. I thought the referees did a fine job of not calling anything. Number 20 in close is Reggie Anderson. Matt Lehman comes down to help bring that ball up the floor. Chuck Lewis now. Cougars up by 4, 24-20. Scott Furman underneath, got to take it. Doesn't get it. Ed Finch rebound, jump shot, got it.
Soft touch.
All right. Gotta be impressed day in, day out. Ed Finch can still put it up soft underneath like that. Has a real awareness of where that basketball is. Yeah, left out by Ed Finch. Chuck Lewis picks it up. 4-on-2. Gonna take a three-pointer. Got it! Yeah. Boy, Cougars up by 9, 29-20. We got timeout.
Okay, come in, Andre. Come here. What do you guys say? 1/4 of the game we have won. 1/4. You've done a good job. Everybody okay?
Yep.
Okay. Nice job of pulling up and taking a look and letting things develop down there. Now, when they're swinging across the middle, you did a great job. You did about all you can do with both of those guys posting in that middle. When the top man pops out, you know when he just went out, who was guarding the middle man? Okay, when he goes out on top, way up to the high post, I mean the top of the key, you fall back and help on those postmen. Okay, as opposed to going out, you know how he dumped it in there? Because as soon as he gets it, all he's doing is clearing the middle to try to let a guy come across to help out. You fall back and make him shoot a jumper if you have to, but don't let him dump the ball down inside. Keep pushing the ball and keep staying organized and getting good shots. Set good screens for each other. Set good screens for each other. And drill it with your feet set. Let's go. Let's go.
Well, Dave, so far I'd have to say the substitutes for Kalamazoo Valley have made the difference in the game. I thought that Kalamazoo Valley might have an edge the longer